Well, the IEA warns that if current energy use remains unchanged, the world will fall short of its target of net zero by 2050 by 60%. And that would mean global temperatures rising to 2.6 degrees by the end of this century. Even under policies already announced, the report says the world is still on course to miss its net zero goals by 2050 by a margin of 40%. So, the IEA says investment in renewable energy will need to rise substantially by the end of this decade, with the majority of that funding going to parts of the developing world, where progress towards meeting climate goals has gone into reverse. Well, Robert Buckley is a consultant with the energy specialist Cornwall Insight. Robert, welcome. This is pretty grim reading, isn't it? Is this IEA report worse than feared?
It probably is about where we thought it would have been, given the expectations that have been talked about for the COP26 summit in Glasgow. But yes, lots to do, lots to go for.
So what's holding back renewables investments?
I think there's a general view that while targets have been set, we've perhaps not been as quick as we should around the world in implementing policies. I think you picked up on there the need for investment to be funded essentially outside the IEA nations. I think they've said that about 70% of that investment needs to go in emerging markets and developing economies. And even within those IEA nations, the developed economies, the investment frameworks perhaps aren't as clear as they should be to drive all the investment that we feel is needed.
I'm guessing that the extraordinary record prices of gas and oil that we're now seeing might accelerate investment in renewables.
I think my experience is European-based, but there's certainly a lot of funding. Even before this, there was a lot of funding wanting to go into clean energy and sustainability. This price spike we're certainly concentrating minds across a lot of Europe on the clean energy transition, as we heard from the French just the other day.
I'm guessing as customers who fill our cars with gas, diesel, petrol and pay our household fuel bills, we keep thinking, well, surely this is going to calm down soon. I mean, there is an implicit sense in this report that further price volatility is on the way.
I think further price volatility is on the way by the nature of these things. Renewables tends to be high capital cost investment, but low marginal production cost, and it tends to be less predictable in production. So what you end up with is a smaller portion of demand potentially left for the controllable technologies, which are fossil backed. And they get, they're high production costs. So these costs have to be recovered from somewhere. And of course, we've got strong expectations of increasing global demand for energy as the planet develops.
It really is difficult to imagine a more challenging background to the COP26 summit in Glasgow, what with these record prices and this pretty grim report.
Certainly from that perspective, yes, but I'm sure you guys have been reporting on the comments made by President Putin and other comments that have been made in the run-up to COP26. I'm no global political expert, but there does seem to be a lot of positioning going on ahead of that summit. Hopefully it will lead to a successful outcome.
Robert, you've neatly led us on to President Putin. For the moment, thank you very much indeed. Robert Buckley.
Thank you.